Alright, what up guys? Welcome back. So this weekend we'll be looking at another kind of pair of products, and today we'll be looking at basically a new matte clay from Hong Kong home brewing. So this is their clay water-based formula, and yeah, so we'll start off by looking at the jar, but real quick, my hair is on the dry side, so just because it's for the sake of the review, we'll go ahead quickly use their spray just to re-wet things a bit, primarily because it's been a while since I got out of the shower and setting up things, so okay, that gives us something more of like a towel dry finish and should basically just prime things a bit. But let's look at this. So as I mentioned before, this is Hong Kong clay water based. This is a firm hold and matte finished product. Obviously you can see they misspelled matte with the name matte, but anyways, ingredients, directions on one side. This is a 4-ounce jar, clear plastic on the thinner side, so definitely no faking here. You can basically see it's completely filled with product. White plastic lid, and the product inside has a little more of a glisten than what we're familiar with other matte products, but we'll see how that holds up when we actually start styling it. So in all honesty, the scent of this pomade reminds me of shampoo mixed with like household cleaner. I mean, so something like along the lines of like a somewhat like floral fruit scented like dish soap. So just clean overall, but definitely not the most complex or most pleasant scent that we've ever like experienced. But overall, I mean, yeah, this smells like dish soap for the most part. Anyways, scooping it out, it's definitely a lot thicker than the other clays we've used. So the hope is that this is actually going to provide a good amount of hold. And plus with the haircut, it's likely I won't need much at all, but we'll gauge that. Smears somewhat easily in the hands, but you can definitely see the grip coming out immediately. And we already feel the product somewhat kind of settling. So what I'm afraid of right now is that this product kind of acts more like a paste, like a salon style paste of some kind, where it basically dries before we can even get any good hold out of it, and it just becomes way too grippy and uncomfortable to work with. And so applying it, I can definitely feel the grip, and I'm really glad I got a haircut because it would be a lot more uncomfortable if I didn't get that haircut. So it's applying, and what I'm going to really pay attention to as I start styling in like a few minutes is whether or not this product, like as it begins to settle, as it provides a grip already, is it going to basically like kind of dry out and just puff out when I start styling, or is it actually going to remain workable? So already I can tell it's not going to be similar to some of the other clay pomades that we really like here. Like for example, Arcadian clay pomade, which we really love here. It works extremely well and doesn't provide like grip at all right away, so it remains very stable. And so what I'm kind of worried about is how time sensitive this product's going to be. So go ahead, just comb things through. So the way it's combing through is promising. It's definitely like staying somewhat soft. It's not very like, I don't feel some sort of gripping and hardening up and kind of puffing out. So looks good so far, but the smell is really coming out now, and I gotta say I'm not a fan of the scent of this pomade. It definitely, there's like some sort of citrus is really coming out, but it's not like citrus as in like a real fruit. It's very citrus as in like a lemon or orange, like dish soap. Anyways, go ahead, start styling with it. Alright, so go ahead, call that done. I mean, so what I'm noticing is that getting good volume and good height in the middle, like alright shape, but like getting volume with this product is definitely on the easier side and definitely possible. What I'm struggling with is to kind of control my sides and kind of keeping them clean because it's not a very thick or weighted product, it's kind of difficult to control those and kind of keep those sides neat and then tucked in because they're really wanting to just basically kind of fall outwards, which is definitely not what I want. So kind of go over the list overall. The consistency, it's like on the thicker side, and when you start to agitate in your hands, it feels a little more like a salon style paste. Don't let that fool you though, because once you start combing it through and start working with it, you'll notice that it really starts to stabilize out, and it remains soft and workable, which is exactly what we want. The finish is a neutral. I wouldn't say it's a matte, it is definitely just like a neutral because I still have a little bit of sheen in my hair, and naturally my hair does have sheen, so I would say this is definitely just neutral. Looks just like you have nothing in your hair, which is cool. The volume is very impressive. The hold, like just like the brute strength to keep everything nice and clean, is definitely more of like a medium. Might be pushing towards the light, but the volume you get is on the above average, like on the high side. So balance that out. What we're talking about is like a lightish on the weight side with like a medium like hold, slightly firm, so you can really take advantage to get that volume, but still gotta really work with it and kind of put product where you need it in order to really get the hold you're looking for. But so with the control overall, this is kind of average between the other like matte clays we've used, or especially more comparable to like the clay pomades that we've used with like a lighter weight. Anyway, so I'm off to the beach now, and I'll see you guys in a few hours. Alright, so end of the day, let's go ahead and wrap up this review. On the way to the beach, basically while in the car, my hair got messed up completely, wind flowing through like the windows and whatnot. Like this thing didn't even make it to the beach. And yes, of course, like I've mentioned many times before, clay pomades, texturizing products, we don't necessarily like we can't really rely on them to really just maintain a perfect pomp the entire day, but this was to an extreme where endurance wise, like don't rely on it. You saw it kind of falling like towards the sides in the morning, like that only just exponentially gets worse and worse through the day, and so do expect it to fall apart. Now if you're okay with that, then it's fine, and typically I am, but on a day that's hot like this where it was just like hairs all in my face and I can feel the product kind of like the residual product literally on my skin right now, like it's really annoying. So maybe on a cold day, maybe on a different type of thing, it's like manageable. It's because I'm okay with things that get messed up. Like I see the aesthetic of it, and I've become more than accustomed to it. But today specifically, like this is not a day where I wanted this thing to be falling all over my face. Restyling it, so it is a little more brittle in regards to some of the other like clays like we've used. Like ductile being like probably Jack Henry Co's like clay pomade is probably one of the most ductile ones. In regards to you can finger comb it doesn't really catch your fingers, it's really nice and smooth. And let's say for example a gel pomade of some sort being like the most brittle, so this one's a little more towards the brittle side, so it's a little uncomfortable to a finger comb, especially once it falls in your face and you have to change the direction drastically. It's a little discomforting and pretty annoying, but restyling is possible in regards to getting it back. It's not very like tacky at all, and so keeping it back, it doesn't really want to stay that way. You're gonna have to finger comb it back and back and back. If you have water, there is some sort of like resetting that you can do to it. It's not a gel pomade, but it does kind of change throughout the day or change during the application process, so that water kind of resets it a bit, and so it'll help you restyle. Greasiness, no, it's not greasy, and dryness, it's not dry, but there is some sort of like residual product that you can feel, and if it falls on your skin, you can feel it. So it does have that sort of presence. It's not a super like clean one like some of the other very light products we've used before. But yeah, washing it out, it comes off with just water, but like soap and shampoo does help a lot. It will push it to the next level. If you use just water, you will have to scrub quite a bit. But yeah, so I mean, this has been a review for the Hong Kong homebrew clay water-based formula. So in general, it performs really well in regards to the volume, but in comparison to like what like other products can offer, it definitely falls short depending on like what your situation is. So for example, today, definitely not the choice to have in regards to like going to the beach on a hot day. I would not choose this product. I would choose something a little, either like a clay that's a little more forgiving, a little like more texture and just clean, like the Arcadian clay pomade, or if I wanted something that can really keep my hairs together, now probably would have picked the Jack Henry Co. Now for a day in the office, a day that's a little more relaxed, this could be like a good choice. It's more similar to like a matte paste that we see from like Olus or some sort of other matte paste that kind of settles in a way that it doesn't remain as ductile or isn't as oily. So in that case, it might be a good choice. But so it's not the most versatile product, but it does have a good fit. And so in general, there are a lot of choices, but like if you're trying to support a local brewer and you're like from Asia or like the Hong Kong like vicinity, you want to support something that's a little local to you, which I tend to do here in California in the States. But this is a good choice for someone who doesn't want to, if you don't want to import something from the US. But yeah, so this has been a review for HKH Brew Clay Water-Based Pomade, and we will see you tomorrow with another pomade tube review.